Hey everyone, my name is Ariana Nava, and today I'll be talking about how texting is destroying young people's social skills. It's no secret that teenagers these days love their cell phones. Despite the advantages that this era of technology brings to communication, it has a downfall when it comes to the effects of texting on face-to-face communication. Chris Segren, the head of the University of Arizona's Department of Communication, says, "The use of technology, texting in particular, is probably one of the biggest impediments for developing social skills in young people today. There has been a shift from the traditional way of communicating." He goes on to say it makes young people more timid when they're face-to-face with others. They're not sure what to say or what to do. Then in a study at Elon University, 92% of students agree that the presence of technology while spending time with others affects face-to-face interpersonal communication negatively, and these numbers are seen in Chart 1. Then in Chart 2, the same group of students were surveyed, and 92% of them admit to using their smartphone or tablet while with friends or family at least sometimes. The presence of technology is harming face-to-face communication, and this was seen through a study at the University of Carolina at Los Angeles. In this study, they studied 11 to 12-year-old children. One group was deprived of all digital media, and this group performed significantly better at recognizing emotions than those allowed to keep texting and tweeting and talking on Facebook after just 5 days. The senior author of the study concluded that one of the costs that aren't being looked at as much as the benefits of digital media are decreased sensitivity to emotional cues, which is losing the ability to understand the emotions of other people. These young people didn't only just feel shy when they were face-to-face. They were having a hard time understanding and recognizing emotional cues. Emotional cues are a part of effective communication. When you're communicating and listening and speaking to one another, it isn't just the words that you are speaking. It's how they're delivered and how you receive them. Reading body language and how someone is being affected emotionally and understanding that is key to being able to communicate with others. When it comes to being social, my mind usually strays off to the hallways of a high school, filled with cliques and a bunch of different social groups. High school students stare down at their cell phones as they scurry from class to class, talking to their friends via cell phone rather than face-to-face. A student at Volcano Vista High School told me, "Kids these days just forget to have a conversation because they don't talk. Even in the hallways during school, they just text." Students are seeing the difference among their peers, especially when it comes time to breaks and passing periods. People are developing these things called school friends, where they only talk to people in class when they're forced to for group projects rather than actually building friendships that last more than a class period. These young adults are leaning more towards isolating themselves and are using technology and texting as their crutch to do so. They are technically communicating, but when it comes to being face-to-face rather than being behind the glass of phone screens, they come to a loss of how to act. Texting is negatively impacting face-to-face communication, as for young people nowadays, it's the preferred language to use. A lack of speaking face-to-face and listening to others is causing these young people, who are so technologically advanced, to have such weak social skills. This lack of social skills then in turn affects them as they get older and enter the workforce. Speaking to authority, being interviewed by an employer, and many more situations are a lot more difficult for this generation to do, as they have been so dependent on their cell phones for communication. For the young people of this generation, they have to figure out how to overcome this challenge that has been introduced by the use of too much technology. They can't just rely on texting for communication, and because of this, they have to limit their time that they stare at their phone screen. Young people must develop those necessary social skills that life deems necessary to thrive, and that may include some of them sacrificing the time that they spend texting their friends and family and actually spending quality time together in the absence of technology. Overall, though, technology does offer a new avenue for communication and a new language altogether, but we must realize as a society that we can't let it take over our lives completely. There must be limits to texting. And with them, we can enjoy both the benefits of technology and effective communication face to face.